tangible truth for a youth to refuse to belong. No-name nuisance, who's in a bedroom, who's in a brand new uniform. Barely commune with the horde, got a whole grayscale ungluing his world. Might zone amp to the yap of a magpie, unseen hand dragging his graphite. Cross contour, little bit of backlight, black ink after a Bristol to baptize. You can imagine a rush that ensue when you get three dimensions stuffed in a two. Then it's off to a school where it's all you get to, being trained and observed by a capable few. Back in New York by peeps and a dog in a two-bedroom doing menial jobs. Plus rhyming and stealing and being a clod. Distractions, freedom, a rod. I left some years of giving a light. I left some will, the spirit away. I let my fears materialize. I let my skills deteriorate. Haunted by the thought of what I should have been. Continuing a mission that was...
Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. We have two teams in today's game with plenty of confidence as they're riding big-time winning streaks. It's the Texans going up against the Voyagers. So with kickoff straight ahead, we'll check in with our broadcast team. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Larry, they broke ground on this place in the year 2000, opened it in August of 2002, and it's been the home of this franchise ever since. Welcome to NRG Stadium in Houston. Tonight, we finish off Week 6 with a good Monday nighter between the Houston Texans and the Houston Voyagers. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you take a look at our home side as we enter play here. They've been playing their best football of the year. Winners of 4 in a row.
And they looked awfully good last week and came away with a 2-touchdown victory. They did have a few reasons for concern defensively, but all in all, they'll take a repeat here if they could get it.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Texans, it's been all systems go in this first month. They're off to a 4-0 start.
And it's got folks believing that this is a team that's built to go all the way. You can't win the Super Bowl in September, but they're telling everyone that they're going to be there in the end.
And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by their third-year quarterback. Come out throwing here to start the drive. Well, he's going to take a shot right away. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down. Second down now after the incompletion. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Now on the run, he'll... Oh, wide open. Complete. Touchdown, Houston. Their dangerous wide receiver. His first touchdown on the year. And the Texans have taken the early lead. Not a bad way to start it.
And I think that was part of their script, because so many teams script their opening possessions. And whether it's just that possession or even deeper into the half, sometimes it's 15 to 30 plays. That had to be one in there where they call a shot play. Go for the big one, and they got it done.
Roberto Aguayo now for the point after. And the Texans take a 7-0 lead. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now a handoff as they run left side. And some room to roam now. He's at the 40. Touchdown, Houston. A great play there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And his guys are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Well called, well blocked, and then he just made a great play. That was an athlete going a long way.
Yeah, how about the suddenness, too? Just getting there and taking off and going. For the defensive guys, plays like that really hurt.
This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
That confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
One of the toughest things for an offensive lineman to learn is the ability to get in space and hit people who are moving targets. And linebackers are not easy ones to hit because they know how to move, juke, and make you miss. And that's exactly what he did on that play. A nice play for the defense.
And the defense searches for one more stop here after the run on second down. On third down, Elliott. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. And whistle blown. A timeout here is taken, and it's taken by the kicking team. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. 1 receiver left, 3 to the right. They're going to try and throw. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. And now out comes Houston. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal. Boy, you'd hate to squander this great field position. Here's 3rd and goal. On 3rd and goal, Wilson. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. And that sack brings up 4th and goal, a loss of 7. Big play. And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure.
The offense got the ball in a good spot, but they went nowhere. They settled for 3.
Brandon, I think it's safe to say that was a major disappointment. Had a great opportunity, excellent field position, and did not be able to move the ball at all. Big-time letdown.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The defense working their way back out now onto their home turf. And it's early, but, boy, they looked good on the last drive. Getting that 4th down stop, they'll be looking to build off that momentum.
They went into lockdown mode, didn't they? And what I loved about it is when someone goes for it on 4th down on their own side of the field.
Gutsy.
Not only gutsy, defenses take that as a sign of disrespect. And when they're able to shut them down and put it back in their face, then they feel really good about trotting back out for the next series.
We'll see if they still feel good here. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29.
Well, on that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
On the counter, Elliott. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
One of the things I love about this game is there's a match of wits throughout the game. Who's going to get the advantage? Who's going to catch someone off guard? I feel like the offense thought they might catch the defense off balance with that play call, but unfortunately, that didn't work for them.
They'll look to throw here. He's going to rifle one deep left side. A surprising move to go for it. Predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And the ball will go over on downs on the short side of the field. And now out comes Houston. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
And a look at the defense now. And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves them with 3rd and 5. They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5. From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. He's got the hook up to Lee. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal.
My next teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did. He's already scored once. He definitely had his eyes wide open trying to get in there a second time, but I thought that was a really nice play defensively to deny him.
Yeah, it was, as you said, keeping him away from his second first-quarter touchdown there. They go read option with Wilson, and they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. Now from back at the 9 after that last play, this is 3rd and goal.
And as we've seen throughout this season, it's no picnic trying to score touchdowns against this unit. They're ranked number 1 against the run. But it's also difficult because it's not easy to throw the ball against them either.
And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down. And now the Texans want to call another timeout. And that's their second charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. And his kick is good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. So the drive takes him inside the 10, but it ends with just 3.
And a nice job defensively to rise up and make sure they didn't get in.
This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Flushed out right. On the run, he'll let this go deep. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Logan Ryan. And he will be brought down, but he's got the intercept. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the hometown guys with a football here to begin this second quarter of play. They take over 1st and 10 up near midfield. And now out comes Houston. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that would help him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
And frankly, Brandon, we're talking about things I'm not sure we ever thought we'd talk about in the NFL. And a lot of that is the speed at the linebacker position. A lot of these guys in college, they were safeties. They moved them up to outside linebacker to combat the spread offenses. And now we're seeing it in the NFL. Those same guys using their speed to make plays in the backfield, similar to that one.
Out of bounds as he appeared to be looking for the corner. He got it. They're going to mark this at the 4-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give him a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
A penalty is declined.
They'll send Beckham alone to the left side. From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. And his throw is incomplete. He was looking for Odell Beckham that time. And it's third down.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
So here we go now. An extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. He'll look to throw. And the third down pass falls incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
They'll set up to throw. He's going to right and got his man complete. And they're going to get this one all the way up to the 35-yard line. They'll look to throw now on first down. He's going to let it go again. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
On second down, Elliott. And he is going to lose yardage here. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. And how about that defensive front? Creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility.
Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down.
Partner, that's another short run there, and I think the easy thing is to look at them right now and say, let's get away from them entirely. Let's start throwing the football, but I don't think you ever entirely abandon the run. It helps set a tone for the game for you, keeps your offensive linemen feeling good about themselves, and it actually tamps down a defense's pressure because if you just throw it all the time, it's going to tee off with the pass rush.
He'll rifle, and that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Houston. Their big-bodied receiver with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Texans are an extra point away from taking the lead. Wow, talk about a big 4th down conversion for the score. Defensively, how do you let that happen?
I think you start with the offense, and you give them credit for going for it and having that type of, well, let's face it, audacity. But defensively, I think you're right on target, partner. There's no way something like that's supposed to happen in that situation. You're supposed to be able to shut that down and get the ball back for your own team. Instead, they give up not just a big play, but a touchdown.
And now out comes Houston. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And now here's a carry heading left. A big play there out of the running game. 33 yards.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, where they call play side. But how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key the left tackle?
Without a doubt. Control that edge. Get out there. You want that left tackle, or if you bring your tight end over there, either way, control the edge of the line of scrimmage, you got a chance to rumble.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
He's had a big game tonight, and while no one's going to be overly concerned about that last play, you also know that the offensive coordinator does not want to see that happen again. They want to get back to doing what they've been doing all game long.
And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. Call it a gain of 5, and that's going to lead to a third down. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field. Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. And time for us to take a break here in the booth. We're back to Houston after this timeout. On 3rd down, Wilson. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down. Fresh set of downs here. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold. When you decide to run a hitch route, it really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Wilson will throw again. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Derek Wolfe in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Well, if you're going to throw the ball on 1st and goal from the 2, the worst thing that should result is an incompletion for you offensively. But, Brandon, this is a different type of football. Back in my day, 1st and goal from the 2, a lot of big people with big neck rolls, they were on the field trying to ram it into the end zone.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. On 2nd down, here's Wilson. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. After the sack, they come up on 3rd and goal from the 18. 3rd and long, it's Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Call it a loss of 8 there, and it's going to lead to a 4th down. 4th and goal. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And his kick is right there. It's good. And with that, they'll take a 2-point lead here in quarter number 2. So they kick it through to take the lead. There is a little bit of time left, though, here in the 2nd quarter.
And while they're concerned about not giving up a big return or giving up points themselves going into the half, how good do they feel, though, putting points on the board themselves right near the end of the first half?
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
He's going to go up top again. He's got a man, complete. Okay, well, so much for the halftime report here. Guy can't even finish his Snickers. We're going to get right to the third quarter. Let me spit this out. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Houston. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. Now it's Wilson. They've in trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
Returnable here from the 38.
Whoosh.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%.
I'm not quite sure how he wasn't able to hold on to that one in the end zone. A great opportunity lost, but a lot of relief for the defensive guys. When they get into film next week, they're going to want to know what happened. Where was the breakdown that almost allowed a touchdown?
He's going to take another shot here. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Odell Beckham, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Texans have retaken the lead. And there, Charles, he lined up out left, ran the post, caught it over the middle, and the rest, as they say, is history.
And you have to love the scheme that they just showed there, because if you're going to run a deep post, you ordinarily have to get a safety out of the middle of the field. And you do it one of 2 ways, either by running routes at him that carries him away from it, or you either freeze him in the middle with routes that run underneath so that he doesn't get depth. Then you throw it over the top, and boy, what a successful play that was.
It's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Houston. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. So the incomplete pass brings up second down. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. Now, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
And the offense looks to pick up the first here on 3rd after that incompletion. They'll come out in the pistol. They go play action with Wilson. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. Here's Johnny Hacker now as he's on to punt for Houston. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Fielded just inside the 20. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Texans take possession. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
They'll try and get the running game going with Elliott. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Again, it's Elliott. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. And it looks like a pickup of 6. That leaves him with 7 yards to go on 3rd down. So 3rd and 7 and an extra defensive back on the field here.
Definitely want to play coverage here.
They'll look to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. This is caught inside the 15. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
Holding offense.
So a little grabbing there, but this time it goes against the offense for holding. Costly mistake for the offense. They now face 17 yards to go on 3rd down. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Fighting him off.
Just ran right through the trash.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And, boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. And now out comes Houston. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to somewhere else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Here's Here's Wilson to throw. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
Here's Wilson. That's caught at the 2. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
That'll make it fourth down after a loss of 1.
But that certainly felt like an example of a defense just saying, okay, we've had enough. We've gotten mashed all night long. About time we got a good play in. But flip it over to the offensive side. They've got to be really upset that they allowed a play like that to happen. They were pitching such a great game, they want to keep it going.
And his kick is good. And that will cut the lead down to just 2. Well, it can be a thankless job sometimes, but they'll be thanking their kicker here. That's now 4 field goals for him. He's kept them in the game.
He sure has, but this offense is going to need to find its rhythm, because it's going to take more than field goals to win this football game.
And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end. And there's another completion to the tight end, and let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He had told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up in the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
A big pickup there on the run. 32 yards.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Trying to turn the corner, but they string him out and stop him at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain there, and it brings forth a 3rd and long. Nice job there defensively to clamp down. Because back now here on EA Sports. It's been a good one so far. Just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. One man in the backfield, Elliott. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And that will push the lead up to 5. So they get the 3 here, but you wonder whether that's going to be enough.
Yeah, I mean, you've now made it so they need a touchdown rather than a field goal to catch them. But you're right.
Look at this. Middle of the field, a breakaway. The 20. Touchdown, Houston. A great effort there. 99 yards. And his guys have taken the lead here in the 4th. It's been a back-and-forth game, a lot of points on the board, and that return right there kind of indicative of how this thing's gone.
Yeah, you've seen both teams go.
And he's going to be taken down. It's a sack. And they fail on the try for 2.
Well, that decision to me was all about pulling up the chart. You know, that beautiful chart that tells you when to go for 2, when to go for 1. I do love it. It helps you with your decision-making during heated times. And you just look at it right here in this point of the game. Go for 2. Try and make it a field goal difference.
But now just up 1 makes the rest of this fourth quarter a little more interesting.
Yeah, they followed the chart. They just didn't get the 2 points on the board, did they?
Nope. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Escaping the pressure right. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. It's a gain of 7, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
Drops it underneath to Elliott. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll be 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And no, it's incomplete. The Texans tried it, but they come up empty here on 4th. And the ball will go over on downs on the short side of the field. And now out comes Houston. They'll run it now out of the gun. And past the 30 down to about the 27. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. Let's see what the defense dials up here, 3rd and 4.
From our vantage point, that was just one bad play by the offensive line in a series of really good ones tonight. But I know that they're going to be really ticked off. It's a lot like a baseball pitcher.
Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Texans scoop it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, that takeaway, partner, right there, that's a combination of coaching, execution, and absolute belief. Because a lot of guys will look at the scoreboard and go, this thing's pretty well done. But they still thought to themselves, if we can make a play, we give our teammates a chance to win it. And that's exactly what they did.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. And they're going to speed things up here. Back to throw here. Flush to his right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Bud Dupree. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball on this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. They'll drop to throw. He's going to rifle one deep. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-round pick, Kevin Johnson. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You've got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. And in this situation with the lead, fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take. Puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line. Similar to a slant, it's all about timing when you're throwing a crossing route. Quarterback and receiver have to be in sync, and when they put it on them just right and catch it full speed, running through a defense can often result in a big pick.
And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A great play there with his 3rd touchdown so far, number 13 now on the year. And that interception key as it leads to the touchdown.
Well, 3 scores in this game, I think that deserves some type of a broad gesture. I know in hockey, that's called a hat trick, and people throw their hats out on the ice. What about us? What can we do for this guy?
Well, if I'm his teammates, I'm buying him a little steak dinner tonight, right? At least a skirt steak, probably a filet.
Oh, you're going big. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, skirt at minimum, filet at maximum.
You can't give the guy a skirt steak. He scores 3 times. There you go.
10 ounce, 16 ounce.
Porterhouse.
Fine. They'll send Beckham alone to the left side. They go back to the air here after the INT. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I'm laughing to myself because I could just hear in film session. But, Coach, I was throwing it to Odell Beckham Jr. Of course I thought he was open.
They'd love to go deep downfield to him, though. Such a threat.
Yeah, a rare incompletion. Because
this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown, Houston. A big play there with his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And now the Texans are within a 2-point conversion of tying up this game.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. Now Wilson. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 11 yards on the pickup, and that'll be good for a Houston first. Wilson to throw. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And they finally are able to take him down at the opposite 47.
Offense.
So there you go, holding by the offense, and that'll push him back.
Changes everything now as you try and figure out what your playbook has for you. Longer yardage situations, tougher to execute and pick up first downs.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down for a loss inside his own 5 at the 4. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
And he did get it back, I do think, yes. So no turnover on the punt, and it'll be a first down.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. Throwing right, and that's complete. So we saw a lot of points. Overtime comes. The defenses, they clamp down.
Rather amazing, isn't it? Because would you have even thought that we'd get to overtime after what we witnessed for 4 quarters?
Not at all.
And have 0 points on either side? Not a chance, right? And somehow it happened. We always talk about making adjustments. Maybe both defenses took 4 full quarters in order to get an adjustment. Got 1 good period in for both defenses, and now they go home. You buying tonight?
I thought it was you. I did last week. I did the last 2 weeks.
Oh, I was trying to go for 3.
Dinner on you, my good
Tried
man.
to go for 3.
Nothing between these two teams for 4 quarters. Here we go to begin overtime. This is fielded at the goal line. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And now out comes Houston. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. Tackle made by Eric Kendricks.
Well, he didn't make headway on that one, but he's had plenty of carries all night long. I just wonder if maybe he's a little bit tired from toting the rock that much.
First throw in overtime now for Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Call it a loss of 4 there on the sack. And speaking of the number 4, it brings up 4th down now. Here's Johnny Hecker now. On for a very important punt here in overtime. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. And here comes the Texans now. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it.
And got his man complete. And he is in for the score. And it is absolute stunned silence here as they win it on the road in overtime. Well, you never know what you're going to expect when you come to the stadium to call a game. Sometimes you get good ones. Sometimes you get bad ones. Sometimes you get great ones. And that's what we had here. What an exciting finish on that last big play.
And I think that as we look at it, when you're talking about a great finish, which went along with a game that obviously was dramatic because we did get into overtime, what type of play calls do you have left? What have you not shown? Or what have you made an adjustment to what you've worked out all the way through that's going to give you the play we saw to win the game? Because I know everyone's thinking that that was something that they just drew up. It might have been something they've been working on, and now they got the right matchup.
So for the